So it's okay up to this point, but for this piece, we need to make a vent. First, let's design the sink as well, and then we'll get to that as well. Let's go back to the plan. Let me see. We need to go right here. So this is where our sink goes, and we can see it in the AutoCAD file as well. We have a sink here, and the sewer goes through here, and above the sink itself, we have the vent. And if you look at the other side, we have a vent here as well, which runs alongside the beam, then goes up here, and it goes through here as well. Although we have a column here in the middle, and next to that we have a beam too, and because of these we have an issue where we need to fix. So first we're going to do this part. Now let me close the AutoCAD file so we can get back to the Revit. For the dimensions, you can see it says 3, so it's about 75 millimeters. So I'll go over here to the Systems tab, and then I'll select the pipe tool. The type is already set on sanitary, which has been selected under the segment section as well. And then we go to the plan. Using a 75 millimeter diameter, we start from this point. Using a 1% value slope towards the down direction, we start drawing to this point. After that, I'll make a cut line right here, which runs along the pipe itself, and it's set horizontally in the plan. Alright, there we go. We'll just have to wait for the cut line to be applied to the plan, and then we'll proceed. So I'll decrease the depth, and then using the align tool, I'll set the cut line on the center of the pipe, dead in the center. Because as we said in the MEP, wherever we put the cut line, our work surface is there as well. So we do this in order to be sure. And you can see the beam here as well. Alright, so now I'll select this and move it upwards towards the surface and place it here. And as you can see, we have the beam right here in this point. So I'll select it once again, and using the draw pipe option, I'll continue drawing the pipe and then stop at this point, and then using a 45-degree angle, I'll turn the pipe towards the down direction, and then I can stop until I've drawn this piece of the pipe. Alright, then using the trim tool, we can connect it to our piping system. Alright, then I'll delete the new pipe, then I'll select the fitting and use the mirrored on axis tool to make a copy of it, and then I'll connect it to the original fitting. Alright, let's just select it and move it towards the right direction so that it doesn't hit the beam itself. Just needs to move up as well. Alright, then move the fitting itself forward a bit, and there we go. So after that, I'll right click on the mirrored fitting and select the draw pipe option. Now using this, we'll delete the fittings, but they will come back. And then we start drawing the pipe towards down vertically, and then we stop, and using 45-degree angle, we draw once again so that we can get the fitting here. Then I'll delete the pipe and create a mirror of the fitting. Then in order to be sure, I'll separate the fittings and then connect them once again using this circle icon. And then I'll connect this pipe to the fitting here as well. Hit tab. Alright. So we just have to make sure that these are in the same direction. So I'll create a reference line because it seems like it's crooked a bit. Alright, then using a line, I'll connect the pipe to the reference line. Now on this vertical face, we don't have any slope. Now we need to connect this to this point on the right. So I'll select the pipe, and then from this point, using the same 1% slope, I'll draw to here. Then I'll select the align tool and lock the center of this with the pipe here. and then the center of the pipe with the fitting. And if we check it in the 3D version as well, we can see where it goes. Alright, and then after that, I'll connect this pipe to this one. The reason that this command doesn't go in is that they aren't in the same elevation point. But let me move this backwards a bit first, but I won't connect it yet. Let's leave that for the ending so we don't run into any issues. But when I move this out, we lose the slope. So let's connect it first and then give it a slope. So first select this in the plan, and then we can use trim to connect these up. So let's see what the top elevation is here. Ctrl C, then select this pipe and Ctrl V here, and there we go. Now let's go to the top view. Oh, so this part needs to be connected using a 45-degree angle, but I was connecting it directly. So let's move this back a bit, and then right click on the ending of it and select draw pipe using a 45-degree angle. Then use trim of this with the pipe here, and there we go. Now I just have to connect these two parts up. So delete the pipe in the middle and then select this one and move it over here. Alright, delete the pipe on the bottom as well. And then select the three-way fitting up top and connect it to this one. Then select the fitting on the bottom as well and connect it to here. Now I just have to grab it and drag it over here and then hit tab so we can make sure that the connection is on. Alright, let me just select it and move it outwards a bit, and then we try again. Then bring it over here and just a bit closer. Because it is in the 3D view, it's a bit harder to find a connection point. So let's go to the plan instead. It's much easier to do it over there. So here, select this and move it closer to the connection point, and using tab we'll find it. We just have to hit tab enough so that the circle icon pops up. So as we said, because the elevation points between these two are different, we're still gonna get the warning. But for now, let's go back to here and open up this cut. Let's see where it was. All right, now let's go back to the plan. Let me just select that pipe and put it in the same direction as the system. So this goes over here. Then select the fitting and move it over here. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Then right click on it. Let's see. All right, Ctrl Z once more. And then let's see what we have. All right, so hit Ctrl Z a couple of times to reverse the actions, and this part is fine for now. But let's just keep this pipe in this direction for now. So it goes here. Then I'll go over here and select this and move it over here so that it's parallel with this system so that we can connect it later on. Alright, so grab it and move it over here and place it right here. Alright. So I've connected these parts up as you can see, and then I'll use the align tool to connect this pipe with this line, and then we can go back to our cut line, the detail 6 file. Then I can select the pipe over here and then select the slope tool from up top. Then I can change this direction and give it a 1% value slope and then finish it up. But remember that the side that has the arrow stays fixed all the time. But I have to connect this part up using this, and there we go. Alright, but there still seems to be a gap between them, so select it and using tab we can find the connection point. So this is what we can do up to this point, but there just remains one part that we've isolated before. So let's go to the plan. So here let's go and select the part that we need and move it around a bit. So we can zoom in here and select the fitting, and then using the move tool, we can connect it to this pipe down here. And all right, it all seems fine up to this point. But now let's go over here and connect these two parts up. So select the fitting that we have over here and then move it around, and using the tab, we'll find the connection point until the warning goes away. And all right, there we go. All right, then I can align the cut line to this part over here, and then I can open the cut up and then get to work here.